Jared, would you, one question I do have, and a couple of my colleagues had the same question. What's the status of the taxicab director position? Has that been assumed by other officials in the administration? Can you go through that for us?
Sure. The position remains vacant at this time, with day-to-day operations being managed by Ms. Thibodeau, who served as the deputy director under the previous director of the Taxi Bureau for about 4 years. She continues to run the day-to-day. We're working on making her the taxicab administrator, filling that position under civil service with sort of higher level management by both myself and Jen Cecil in the one stop.
Councilmember Guidry, you had a question, I believe.
Yes, about filling the top position of Taxicab Bureau. What is the problem with getting that done?
We've not yet identified the perfect candidate for the job. We're still open to the possibility. It's almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yes, ma'am.
And so could you tell us how many people you've interviewed for the job, and could we see their resumes? I mean, I just want to know what's happening here.
Sure. I believe we've interviewed 12 to 13 individuals, but we maintain that the Bureau is now better run than it has been ever before, and that we are very excited by the changes that have been made.
Are you saying that you don't want to hire a head of the Taxicab Bureau?
We're saying that we don't necessarily need to hire a head of the Taxicab Bureau.
So then who is going to be the person responsible for how the Taxicab Bureau runs?
Ultimately, the Director of Safety and Permits, as it has been since 2002.
What background does the Director of Safety and Permits have in running a Taxicab Bureau?
Well, I've essentially been doing it now full-time for a year.
I mean, to me, this is not acceptable. We need someone running the Taxicab Bureau who has a background in running Taxicab Bureaus. We need someone who, knows what's going on at the cutting edge. Okay, we did this serious work in 2010 to 2012 to reform the taxicab industry, and then within a year or two we're hearing about this Uber thing that no one really prepared us for ahead of time. Now, I know we had a head of Taxicab Bureau then, and I wonder why it is that we were not given that preparation. But the bottom line is I don't think it's right to the industry. I don't think it's right to the council. I mean, the Taxicab Bureau is an administrative agency or department, and so that in itself gives this separation between what happens in the Taxicab Bureau and how it's run, and what we on the council, the Transportation Committee, get to see or understand. That there's already that separation, and we need to have someone who we can call to this table who is supposed to know all about taxicab industry and can answer to us. I just don't think it's appropriate to continue to fill positions by making someone else that's already got a position in our administration do two jobs at one time. And I know that you're ultimately responsible as the Director of Safety and Permits, and that's as it is set up in our local government, and so it's as it should be. But you shouldn't be the person calling the shots on the present and the future of our taxicab business. That should be somebody who knows the industry. And I mean, nothing, personal here. I think we need someone who is acknowledged and has knowledge and experience in the industry, someone who can answer to us and inform us. And so I really obviously am objecting to the idea of having you fill shoes that you were not meant to fill.